Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the 144,000 out there, brothers, likewise in the street pushing the word out there, and sisters who listening, learning, being obedient and submissive. Shalom. Right? This lesson here, don't have a title for it yet, but doing it based off of this clip, the shorts here on YouTube that I literally just came across, and the spirit jumped on me to do a video on it one time because this Christian trying to, debunk what Bishop Nathaniel is saying here, right? Which what Bishop Nathaniel was saying here was truth, talking about the lake of fire in America. Well, you hear it for yourself. I'll play it and these three scriptures that he go into to try and prove the hell doctrine. We're gonna read those same ones and explain it, right? So yeah, let's listen.
The fire is when Christ returns and those nuclear missiles hit America.
To read about the lake of fire, read Revelation chapter 20, verses 11 to 15. Nowhere does it talk about America becoming a lake of fire, but it talks.
And this is the thing that I've noticed too, because you see, the way we speaking is like he want the Bible to literally say America is gonna be burned with fire, and that's just being carnal, but Christian lifestyle again.
Talks about the great white throne judgment and those that will be judged there. Those who have rejected Christ will be judged by their works, and they will be cast to a lake of fire. And Isaiah 66 verses 24 also speaks about the lake of fire, about those in torment, their worms will not die and the fire will not quench. And we also see in Revelation chapter 14 verses 9 to 11 speaks about those that receive the mark. They will be tormented in presence of the Lamb and in presence of the angels. And it will be an eternal torment. That is the lake of fire, not America being destroyed, being the lake of fire.
The lake of fire is when Christ returns and those nuclear.
Right, so well, you heard the short video, so let's go with the first one he quoted now, which is in Revelation 20, right? Revelation 20 and 11. It says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it. From those feet the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life," right? Which is the Bible, right? It says, "And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works," right? "And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works," right? So this is obviously judgment day it's speaking of, right? It says, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire," right? Now this here is an important part, right? Because he obviously given of that hell doctrine, right? Because at the end of the video, I believe he mentioned talking about eternal torment, right? Not sure if you say internal or eternal, right? But I think it's eternal, he said. Let's go back and see.
Verses 9 to 11 speaks about those that receive the mark. They will be tormented in presence of the Lamb and in presence of the angels. And it will be an eternal torment. That is the lake of fire, not America being destroyed, being the lake of fire.
The lake of fire is when Christ.
Okay, it sounded like you say internal fire, right? But that within itself don't make any sense, right? Because it's actual fire gonna be burning people, right? You think people are just gonna be feeling the afflictions from within and repenting for the sins, or literally getting burned from inside out? No, right? They're actually gonna be burnt alive, right? That's why it said death and hell cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, right? Because no flesh gonna survive that. You understand? The ones that actually get hit in Babylon the Great, you know, and the shock waves that gonna reach all down here in the islands, and flood the islands strong and all of that. Hey, they're not gonna be saved, right? The ones that still alive who haven't been affected as much from the missiles, right? Those are the ones the Lord coming back to kill, along with his angels, and the elect that he's gonna rise up. You understand? So one way or the other, nobody's gonna survive. Nobody's gonna go into a lake of fire burning for all eternity. Right? And he said, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Right? So meaning to say, if you are not part of the elect, right, you're gonna be burnt to a crisp. Right? Simple as that. Let's go to the other chapter here now, what he mentioned, which is Isaiah 66 and 24. Right? Let me see here. I'll start at 22. Yeah, it reads, For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. Right? And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. Right? And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their womb shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be abhorring unto all flesh. Right? So even this within itself debunks that hell doctrine, right? Because the Lord say, first of all, your seed shall remain, right? In verse 22, right? Seed shall remain. So that means nobody not gonna be in hell burning for all eternity, right? And even to further prove it, as it say, all flesh shall come to worship before him. You understand? So if you in hell burning, you telling me you're taking a little, 2 days off or 5 minutes off to go worship to the Lord and then go back to burning? No, that don't make any sense, right? And it goes down again, right? And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of men that transgress against me, for their womb shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Right? You keep the thing part is that it keeps saying all flesh, right? Yes, it have a wicked and it have a righteous, you know, but the wicked, right, is either they're gonna get completely annihilated, right, or they're gonna be in slavery, right? And when I say that, that's speaking about Esau, the first part when they're gonna get annihilated after the 1,000 years, right? They're gonna be completely wiped off, right? And the slavery, I was speaking about the other nations, right? They're gonna be in hardcore slavery, right? Nobody not gonna be tormenting or being tormented in some place called hell under the earth in the lake of fire, right? Because you see, he getting tripped up, right? When he said, um, the America is not, you know, is not mentioned in the scripture there, and because why? He don't have the eye salve, right? He don't have the vision to see, you know, because the thing about it is, right? America is that altar that's gonna be made as sacrifice unto the Lord, right? It's simple when you think about it, I mean, the Lord did it to Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It's just the same thing reoccurring again with America, but it's gonna be more miraculous, right? They're gonna be on a bigger scale, they're gonna be more, what's a word, more astonishing, right? It's gonna be legendary because it's not only that it's gonna just be burnt, to our crypts, and be like Sodom and Gomorrah where nothing can grow back. Is what gonna happen after that as well, right? The Lord gonna come back. He's gonna have an all-out invasion, right? Mass killing all over, right? Salvation for the elect, right? This whole place gonna be transitioned, from one people to another, right? Which gonna be the Lord first and foremost, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? King David, right? And the 144,000 in rank and file, right? Running the show. You understand? So that's how it's gonna be, right? But he don't understand that he's stuck on, carnal things, right? Let's go to the Revelation 14 that he read also, because this one here talking about the MOTB, right? This Revelation 14 and 9. It say, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, right? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb, in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb, right? And here the thing, right? This is another observation, right? Because if it was hell, right, you mean to tell me the Lord gonna waste his time? So you're gonna spend eternity with them, watching them be burnt alive, bawling, screaming, even the angels, you know? It makes no sense. You understand? Even if they were watching from heaven, because it's not like to say the Lord don't have that capability. But why would the Lord even waste his time doing that? You know? Why would he waste his time doing that? It makes no sense. Alright? When they go down to verse 11 as well, it say, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Right? So we smoke of their torment, right? Because why? They're gonna be burnt to a crisp, right? That is talking about the nukes, right? That coming down to burn them, right? It is talking about the nukes that coming to burn them. They're gonna hit America, right? Even as the scriptures say here, because we get it in Revelation 6 here, right? When I say Revelation 6 and 12, it say, and I beheld when he had opened the seal, the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken for a mighty wind. Right? So when you're watching a tree, a fig tree, and they just see the fig just drop off the tree, so boop, unexpectedly, it just drop on the ground, it hit the ground hard. You will actually hear a little thud on the ground. It's the same way with these nukes, right? But it continues to say, right? It say, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, right? So, first part, right? Say the heaven departed and a scroll, right? So you go up a scroll, when you roll a scroll, right? It rolling out. So picture that going upward, right? Picture that going upward. The scroll rolling upward, right? They say on every mountain, right? The scroll moving upward, and then when they reach the end of the scroll, it will just go outward. Like how to explain it, right? When they go up, just picture it going big. Just picture a cauliflower as well. You see what cauliflowers go up and it sprout out. It's just like that. It's a mushroom cloud. I mean, you could Google that if you don't know what it look like, right? And just picture that, right? Just picture that over America, right? Because as I mentioned, America is that sacrificial altar. There is that altar. That is where all the wickedness coming from. That is mystery Babylon, right? It's not a mystery anymore, but that is Babylon the Great, right? He has to do his research on that because he's thinking on a carnal level, right? Because I believe he's a Jake, He seemed like a Jake, but he just in a Christian mindset, you know. So the next part now where it's and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Now you could imagine the intense amount of force that it's gonna need to actually move the islands and them out of their places. I mean, when was the last time islands move on things to that degree? Wasn't it the first death with water? Because we know everything was one big mass island, right? And then after the flood, all the pieces of the land just break up and split apart, and you know, all went their separate ways. So if you lot to do that now with nukes, right? That that ridiculous, right? That ridiculous. You can even picture that. You understand? You can picture that. That is heavy, heavy, heavy destruction. You understand? But I had one more precept here because I don't want to stick too long on this, right? Um, and this was also another precept that I use to debunk that hell doctrine. You know. So this is Revelation 19 and 20. It say, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. Right, the false prophet is who? The Roman Catholic Church, as well as all these the offsprings of them. Then, it say that wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. Right, this devil deceived the whole world. Right, and this and all is another proof that America is Babylon the Great, right? Because everything coming out of there, right? All their philosophies, they are the ones that forcing all these other countries, to do what they say, even with their money, right? They make their money, right, which is backed by nothing, you know. They make their money above everybody else's own, you know. When you look at it, when you look at the statistics, right? It all fingers points back to them being Babylon the Great. That is a research he has to do, right? It's a which he deceived them and had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Right? So wait a minute. If it was hell, right? The Lord say cast alive because according to Christian doctrine, you had to die and then they go into hell now. Right? But the Lord say again, cast alive into the lake of fire. Why? It's because it's so simple, right? When the nukes hit, it's so much fire, right? So much destruction. It's literally going to become like a lake, right? Because it's like water, right? When you, if let me say the nukes dropping, right? And instead of fire, it's water, right? And it's like a big puddle of water just come there, boom, right? Wouldn't you call that a lake? It's like the same thing, but it's a lake of fire. You understand? It's a lake of fire. You know, it's really that simple. You know, Jake just had to get out of that. That Christian mindset. They're bugging out. But at the end of the day, we know only the elect gonna get this, right? But hey, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Till next time, Shalom.